So we want to start our afternoon session. And I did ask two patients of mine who are actually graduating from the treatment to come, and they so happy that they agreed to come and share with us a little bit of their story. I also want to do evaluation with them, but it's not really initial evaluation, but because they're actually graduating from the treatment. So they all finished their treatment and ready to go. We just do kind of a short assessment, so it's not the first evaluation. And maybe I ask them if they can just share with them their story in a few words. But before I ask them to come up, this is the new book that is going to come out September 4th that I passed around. And I wrote here a new website we're building for the book called Hunyuanfertility.com. You can order the book through there. You can order it already, but you're not going to get any book until September 4th. And the reason that I'm saying it, I want to...
Are you going to sell those in November for the class?
Yeah, they'll come out in a week.
Okay.
So
will they be available here when we take the class in November?
I don't know if I'll bring them because they're heavy.
Okay, so you should order these.
Yeah, so the shipping is like $5.
Okay.
So you just take them and get it shipped to you. But I want to read something from the book related here. This is in one of the chapters in the book. And the reason that I asked them to come, if they would be so graciously willing, is when I was proofing the book, there was a few patients that I was talking about last year. We compiled this last year. We were talking about a few patients, and this is about fertility. And a few patients in the book, all kind of situation at the time just started treatment, and now as I'm proofing it a year later, I said, hey, this patient is pregnant, this patient is also pregnant, this one is also pregnant. But it's not in the book, it's like a year later. So I asked them if they could come. I want to read, they fit in the book I wrote about them. And this is in this chapter. After introducing unification, separation, and Shaoyin energy to a couple seeking fertility treatment, that was before they started treatment. We just had initial evaluation. They went home, of course we did it online, so they were home already, and researched Shaoyin on the internet. The only information they found referred to Shaoyin as one of 6 principal meridians through which vital energy or qi flows. Though they said they understood Hunyuan medicine and they felt these were natural points of view, they still wanted scientific proof that this energy exists, etc., etc. That's why they told me, they emailed me, they said, listen, you talked to us, it was very interesting, but we're Googling it and there's no information. They say Shaoyin, 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 nobody said anything. And so now it's like a year later, and they're pregnant and things, and I want them to come up if they would. Just sit here and maybe share with us this story from the book. There's another patient from the book that I asked if she could come. She lives not so far, but unfortunately her due date is today. So I said, well, if you don't go in, come, we'll do acupuncture to induce it. But she was also in the book, struggling. The doctor said this, that, it's not happening, and then a year later her due date is done.
But no, but seriously, we were looking at the traditional Western form of process and thought process of getting pregnant, and so we knew we could get pregnant because we had gotten pregnant in 2010, right? And about 3 months into the pregnancy, my wife Roya, we lost the child to miscarriage. And I think the toughest part of that for us is you don't get an answer of why. You get a very generic, CYA answer from the doctor. They're not really willing to go into it much. And, we had just announced it to the family, pretty emotionally crushing. So, we're thinking that it's simply a physical issue and that's it. And so we stormed down that path of, okay, let's go to our fertility specialist, and we'll continue down that traditional path because we're going to get there. We're going to fix the physical, and somehow we're going to just, we're going to get there. Why don't you tell me a little bit about what happened at fertility specialist, because that's the important piece.
Exactly. So we got there and we did some blood tests, and the doctor basically told us within about 10 minutes of that consultation, said that you have 0 chance, actually 1%.
Less than 1%.
1% chance, and And I was like, okay, why? Just FSH was high, any bunch of other reasons, poor eggs, just everything. You could just name it. And I was like, okay. So the only option we had at that time, egg donor, right?
Yeah, they moved us right to the egg
Right
donor
away.
category.
Yeah.
Didn't even
Just-
think
that's
about any other options.
Shook my hand and said, see ya, see you later. Oh, yeah, if we decided to go with that route, just call me.
Let me know when you want to buy
Yeah,
a Cadillac.
that was
because
it.
We're only selling Cadillacs here. That
So-
was the way I came to Dr.
So
Seidman.
I was like, no, I should have more options. I'm young. I have a son, he's 15, we just had a baby, you know, we just had an abortion. Let me
And we
have
were
a
just
miscarriage.
miscarriages. We were just pregnant.
Anyway, sorry for being so emotional. It was very tough, very tough. That was it. We left, and you know me, I was like, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. There's more options than just egg donor. That was it. We went online. Somehow God kind of sent you my way.
Do you see other practitioners for us?
Regular doctors. You know, usually when they see your FSH so high, they automatically send you to a specialist.
I just remember we had an issue with the acupuncture, with the local acupuncturist.
What was the
Do my
lady?
vote. Don't say any name. There was some other acupuncture involved.
Yes, a lady. Yes, we went there. She was. She basically said, you know, I'll give you, you know, whatever she knew at that time, and I'll just do that, but no herbs. We decided we were. He actually said no herbs. He's like, I don't want you to take any herbs. It's gonna kill you, and this Chinese thing is crazy.
I remember saying that.
Yes, he was like, you're wasting more money on this stuff, so the best thing for you to do, we just keep trying. And I said, nope, I'm going to try something different. I have a good feeling about this. My heart told me that, go with it. Which I did. I found Dr. Seidman by accident. I swear to God, it was just late at night, couldn't sleep. And sure enough, I was listening to a couple of these little seminars, right? He had little clips, courses, and that was it. I called him the next morning. It was very early. It was 6 California time. You picked up. And I was like, my name is so-and-so, and usually, normally he doesn't pick up his phone. I was like, my name is so-and-so, and I'm taking clomiphene. I did. And he's like, well, why did you do that? That's bad drugs.
That's the first thing he said.
He said, he's like, it's going to destroy your kidneys, it's going to destroy everything. It's like, great, now I'm done. Nothing's going to happen. I'm just completely destroyed. Then I came back to my husband, trying to negotiate with him to see if he was okay with it. Because it's expensive, you know? He's like, nope, can't do it. So anyway, so finally I convinced him. I'm like, we're going to do a consultation. It's only like $200-some, not a big deal, let's just do it. And he was sold after that. That was it.
Yeah, I think you brought up when you read from the book, asking about the metrics. I actually asked Dr. Seidman after this initial consultation, so what are the metrics? Like, how are we going to know there's progress? How do we know that this is actually working? And I remember his answer is like, well, you're going to get pregnant. That's going to be the result, and that's going to be the proof that it worked. And that was really hard. That's really hard to, because you're looking for milestones, right? In Western medicine, they give you like these, I guess, this fallacy that there's these milestones and you're getting better, and really you're covering up symptoms. And so, I mean, I took everything to heart that Dr. Seidman said, even in my own life, about just the energy and when you go to bed and how you eat and balance of everything beyond just the fertility issue, and started taking it more seriously.
That was it. We tried, and the first month, and the herb tasted really bad. But I boiled it every morning.
Drank mine too.
And he drank his too. And every time I'm like, God, I hope something happens. And I felt good, and more energy. Oh, before I got pregnant, lack of energy, everything. I was just really weak, very weak, very, very, very weak. I would take naps for no reason. And after taking work for a couple of weeks, I felt really good. I was exercising normal. I had energy go through the legs. So everything was looking good. My skin started looking pretty good. My hair got thicker. I remember I followed my hair. And every month, went by and didn't get pregnant. I go, oh man, okay, it's not working for me. Maybe I'm one of those unlucky ones. The next month, and every consultation I had, I was like, Dr. Seidman, please pray for me. I'm like, make me pregnant. And he would say, well, have your husband. I'm not done.
You know what? And I remember one thing Dr. Seidman said about the time frame. Right? It was like sometimes the expectation is in a normal situation is maybe in like 6 months or so. But he said in this scenario, because of some of the drugs that she used, prescription drugs, that it might even take about 8 months. And I remember at the 6-month mark, we weren't pregnant yet. And there was a point where the doubt started coming in. And I was actually the one that said to her, no, because we got to hang in there, because we feel the physical results, we're seeing physical, regardless of whether we're pregnant, we can already tell that something's changing in our systems. And we believe, we don't have proof, but we believe in the 7th month or 6th month, somewhere in there, we may have even gotten pregnant and maybe had like a chemical pregnancy where it was like a right away mystery. Because we started to see symptoms, timing, all this stuff, right? And then lo and behold, in the 8th month, exactly when Dr. Seidman had kind of projected our situation. Pregnant.
Cool. Yep. There we go. Now we're almost 5 months.
13 months ago, so 5 months.
Yeah.
What, you had the baby already?
No, I'm still pregnant.
Just
thanks for the
13 months. You said
compliment.
So you go 13 months back, right? Because now we're 5 months.
Okay, 5 months pregnant.
Plus the
Congratulations, it's wonderful.
Thank you. It's a definite.
The doctor said it's everything is okay.
The doctor said the baby's moving. I mean, yeah, they're amazed. We did the test, the test for the test.
The translucency and all the things that California thumbs up, well above
my age.
For her age, and the numbers, we're blowing the numbers out, like better than they would have even
20s,
expected.
like I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. Which we would have never expected. We were and we were just going to be biting our nails for.
Can you tell me something more about what these doctors who said you can't get pregnant, what they're saying now?
Oh, we don't even want to talk to those doctors right now. I don't want bad energy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I just don't want.
Once you're pregnant, you don't see the RE anymore.
I just don't want any bad energy going. I let it just go.
So you send them a postcard.
Yeah.
We changed OBGYNs,
We changed our doctors.
and both were highly respected in the San Ramon area. And the fertility specialists, highly respected, right? But we changed doctors completely. We wanted to start from scratch from that side of it, right? And we got very lucky with the OBGYN and that we have now, or the specialist, or whatever he's called,
yes.
Dr. Lowe. He's been excellent and very positive throughout the process. And even he was shocked at how the other doctors handled it.
Do you mind telling us your ages? It's an idle curiosity, so now it's expensive.
Sure.
I'm going to be 39 this year.
Okay.
And then I'm like 34 and a half.
He's young.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then you also
Just say 40.
Can you tell us which drugs the Western doctors had put you on it? So it sounds like Clomid. And
That was it. I wasn't going to do anything else. Well, actually,
Okay.
after when you told me that my eggs were bad, I'm like, anything else? I was willing to do IUI. I was willing to do IVF. Anything. I said, I'll do anything. He was like, nope, not everything was going to fail.
How long were you on the Clomid?
6 months.
Wow.
And I did get pregnant though, but I lost the baby right away.
Okay.
Within 3 months. Because the first 3 months, the dosage was very low, but then he increased it to 200. But then I was doing the progesterone patches. What else we were doing?
Everything. Threw everything at the wall.
Nothing injection, but a lot of patches
Yeah.
and stuff, a lot of drugs, and I wasn't feeling
And
it
that
at
took
all.
6 or 7 months to get pregnant, but then lost it 3 months later.
The side effect is that you do get pregnant, but then the chances of miscarriages.
One question I want to ask you related to what I read in the book. Like when you said I didn't find any information about Shaolin, I remember you emailed me or something. Why did you decide to do it after if you couldn't find any information?
Me?
Oh, you personally?
Oh, I
You didn't want
did.
to-
I said, we're going.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was looking at all the options, and the other options were, you may have heard the name Dr. Schoolcraft. That's become a real popular name now with egg donors, and has become really popular on TV because of the
Colorado.
was it Juliana and Bill Rancic show, right? They've made it
Yeah.
really popular now, right? So we're looking at all these other options, right? And I'm just looking at, I'll be honest with you, I was looking at the financial investment, the time, the risks of all of them, their results, and then Dr. Seidman's assessments of those other options. And he was pretty candid about, well, those statistics that they show you, right? They're not holistic, statistics. They're not really showing you the whole picture. They're a lot less successful than they appear to be. And so for me, it was just an objective thing, which sounds kind of silly because I was basing my decision on something I couldn't really touch or feel or measure, but for me, it just made sense. She was the one that
I can tell you, that like when I explain to patient these kind of things, like I explained to you today, it just sounds too good to be true. And Western doctors, if they hear what I say, they say it sounds great, it's just lies. The reason she is today is that actually it's not. So that's what we're after, like the true principle, not something sounds fancy, sounds really nice. Like, is it really like this or not? That's what we're after. And it doesn't matter if all the IVF clinic in the world is going to say we're lying. If it's really the truth, it's the truth, no matter what they say. And I'm talking about this in this new book, this whole thing, what we're after.
So in an instance like this, when the patient comes to you following that longer course of ART, and you're seeing that, probably the FSH was affected and brought up by the long course of Clomid. So, two scenarios. One, it sounds like, obviously I'm sure you wish that you had a chance to work with them before they were on meds. But did that really inform the time frame for your feeling in terms of how successful they could be, that they had that long duration with
Yes,
the Clomid?
every time, that's the first question.
Yeah.
Patients say, what's my chance?
Yes.
Before we even do evaluation, I ask two questions, like how old are you, meaning how much pivot is there left, how much fertility drugs did you do? They said we did 7 IVFs, which means this very weak pivot is exhausting. That's impact the assessment. Or they say we never want to do IVF, I'm 41, and I don't want to do drugs, and I never did drugs. I already have the idea that even though it's weak, it's recoverable quite a bit. So the fertility drugs, this is for our November seminar, what they do, how they work, and the problems involved. But that's part of my assessment, how long it's going to take, and if it's possible at all.
And you also mentioned every time we had a call, believe in it. Because I always say, are you sure, Dr. Seidman? I was questioning you every time. And you always tell me, Roya, believe in it. Believe in it 100%. Whatever you're doing, believe in it. And I still believe in it. Every time I had my herb, I drink my herb, I'm like, it's making me feel better. So I think, I don't know, psychologically maybe it helps you a little bit?
Well, it's called part of the heart matters. So if we believe that our heart and our emotions is part of us, and our emotions get better and hopeful and encouraged, then it does help. If we think that our emotion doesn't matter, like the modern clinic believes, it can devastate the patient, it doesn't matter. The egg is the same egg.
It's something to maybe talk to your patients.
There's a big mistake. So that's why when you feel encouraged, this is a whole chapter. The last chapter in this book talks about this. Why should I give the patients hope versus discourage the patient, which is the norm in IVF clinic? Because the IVF clinic wants to say the truth. And we want to make the patients hopeful. So they say, no, you sell them false hope. Like you're lying to them. We say the truth. And I have a different case. I say, you sell the truth, you make them infertile. Why discouraging them? Because the heart is belonging. We don't have time this weekend to talk how the heart emotions this, but in the next seminar, how it impact the pivot in the ovary in this case.
And I think that's a good lesson for all you guys as patients. It's very, very important to believe in it. And that's it.
I'm curious, you said you graduated from treatment. Does that mean that she no longer needs to take any herbs?
For me and Hunyuan, getting pregnant is a natural life process. It's not a disease like in the OBGYN clinic. You have to monitor constantly if the baby is sick. That's the attitude. It's always a problem. Either diabetes or either something or anemia. Something must happen. Chinese medicine say no, you need to get as strong as possible. When you get pregnant, pregnancy, remember the 2 vessels that make the life, this goes on and on. You don't need doctors. So because she has treatment for 8 months and the pivot got really strong, and you can see it in the other symptoms and the mentally aspect and everything, when she got pregnant, this pregnancy is ready to go. It's not like we need herbs for the pregnancy. If she had gotten pregnant after the 1st month, and I could see the situation is very different, maybe she would need herbs the whole pregnancy. So we just give what you need.
The it
Yeah.
working?
So what I tell my students, when we study, it has a lot of things, a lot of layers to uncover. So this weekend we do more physical thing, learning the basic principle, the herbs, how to do. But you need to remember that the practitioner is not a herb peddler. That's not what we do. You need to find out what's the problem on any given level and try to remedy it. And of course, we want to finish everything today, but we can, but we do the mainframe. Even with the Shinfa, with the hard method, it's all the same principle, just different layers of understanding what the heart is doing. But it's not different principle. We don't have a square all the same. It's always going the same, on deeper and deeper and deeper on the same thing on and on. You had also a problem, you started taking herbs?
Well, the initial ones are the ones I just started taking now
These ones.
for the blood pressure.
Right.
So, well, right before I go into that, I'll say that I got some symptoms cured that I never expected to get cured, that I didn't even go in planning to get cured before we even got to the blood pressure issue. So you may not be able to tell it today because I'm sunburned from golfing, but normally, growing up pretty much from child, I always kind of had the flush, kind of red skin, right, whatever. And it's kind of in the male side of the family, right? And it's just because, the doctor would say, oh, your capillaries and blood rushes to your head and this, that, whatever. Bottom line is after 33 and a half years at that time, when we started to take the herbs and started listening to Dr. Seidman on just overall life balance and everything, I literally, my entire complexion changed within 3 months. 3 months change, 33 and a half years at that time of it being one way, and then it drastically. That's what really started getting me to believing like something physically is happening. I'm seeing it. So today's probably a bad example, but if you had seen me a week ago, I was as white as Dr. Seidman's skin.
Like saying white is politically correct.
I mean, but literally, right? I hadn't been that my entire life. I always had a redder complexion. So that was just what was initially getting me like believing, okay, something's working here. The other thing was I had my headaches had subsided. I had been taking some other type of I don't know their pills, but this comes from a Chinese doctor. I was taking these, and it felt like they were working, but Dr. Seidman also explained what the long-term risk could be of doing that if I continued that. So, got rid of the headaches in a different, better way, I guess. But so anyways, so it had me a believer. So even when Roya, through the fertility process or the treatment, was starting to doubt, now my confidence was higher because I had seen other positive results and made me a believer. Anyways, about 3 months ago, because of work, because of all this, blood pressure started skyrocketing. I was in like the high 140s, maybe up even to 150 range, and then maybe like the low number was in the high 80s, 85, something like that, right? And so, stress of work, stress of this whole process, everything. So I came back to Dr. Seidman and said, we gotta do something about this blood pressure because I'm not going on any medication. Forget about that. You've already got me sold on, Western medicine is like, to me, that's now a last resort. I'm dying situation. I'm not taking medication unless I have to. And so came to about 90 days ago and put me on herbs for blood pressure. And literally yesterday, Friday morning, I went to go get it checked. And the initial number was kind of high, like I had seen. Then we did 3 more tests throughout the day. And those 3 other tests were done within about a 5 to 10 minute period. And the last number was 126/71.
Wow.
And that was after 90 days. And just to kind of reconfirm, we did it again, and the other number was like 127/70, low 70 number as well. So I definitely see the impact. That can't be a coincidence, because we had, that's the other thing. I was, now I'm going to shake because I'm nervous, but I was literally to the point where I'd be driving, and the blood pressure was so bad, I was kind of feeling shaking the car, and not bad, but enough to get me worried about it, right?
It would really happen.
And like I was facing a little bit of a shake, and everything just, and maybe it was just all this we were going through, I don't know, but it's made me a believer. It's working. I feel better. not shaking. So.
We didn't go off the parts of the circle, but there was a weakness in the unification. The Yang Ming is obstructed. So if you just do the regular unification, which we did in the first week, there was a little error there. And he said, I'm taking it, I thought there was some headaches or something like that, right at the beginning. I said, immediately, I said, oh, clear, it doesn't go down because the Yang Ming is obstructed. So the same unification herbs, foods and everything, and I just put Jimui in it, which is one of the herbs to help me relieve Yang Ming, with the same foods and angui and all the cinnamon and everything. And he said, immediately after we take it, he said, yeah, no more headaches, no problem. I think.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. That's probably the most important. The other thing that I had my whole life was the freezing feet and the freezing hands. And you can shake my hand now. Am I cold?
No.
I've never had it. Everyone's always said your hands are cold and your feet are cold. You get 150 degrees outside. That'd be
Wearing
feet
socks.
and hands. Wearing socks. In the middle of summer, feet freezing cold. Gone. I don't have that.
Temperature balance.
But let's say if you didn't think about the principle, and we didn't talk about the practical side yet, and we'll get to it tomorrow. Let's say you say, hey, you know what, it looks like a Yang Ming problem. I don't know, Yang Ming is hot, their face is hot or whatever, and I learned in the Shang Hanun that I use Bai Hutan, which has Chimu in it too. What do you think will be the long-term consequences, even though immediately it will reduce the blood pressure? Like what's going to happen to question number one of us? Question number one. So if you don't know it, you don't know. It's just occupied with the first result, blood pressure, no more blood pressure. Yay, great.
Yeah.
Don't even knowing that you compromised. That's why we are learning the principle first before we're talking about the herbs and the application, versus the other way. So that's like an example of how to understand the principle first, then you know what to do. What's question number one, question number two, etc.
Can you speak some to the differential diagnosis and the original ideology when they came in, what you thought from the standpoint for diagnosis, and then how you specifically address that in terms of how frequently you alter your formulas and that sort of thing?
We meet every 2 weeks, but literally the direction on the formula didn't change from day 1 to 8 months. What do you think the direction of the formula is? I remember that practitioner, I told her there's only one formula with endless modification. What's the purpose of this formula?
It sounds like rebuilding the young and also supporting the yin to do so.
Well, the yang is the separation principle. Is that what we're rebuilding? I want to help her separate. What do I want to help her? Why? What's this here? And the Shaoyin is the root or the manifestation? Right, when we say we're splitting, we didn't talk, this belongs to November seminar. Splitting pivot and all these kind of ideas that goes in the egg, and this needs a stronger pivot. That's what splits, that's what goes to the next generation. So from day 1 to the last day is this formula, plus minus, depending if there's other issues involved. It's not many different formula, not to scatter the chi, to tonify blood, to increase this, it's not the reductionist approach. It's not one size fits all, it's one principle fits all. One principle means we all want to be alive. So you could say, no, some want to die, some want to live, some want to go to space. It's not. Everybody wants to be alive. This is one principle, you can't change it. And we already differentiated in the morning what that is doing and what that is doing. So that's the basic diagnosis. And again, there's a little details that we're going to go this weekend. What happens here, what happens there, whatever. We can't find the diagnosis before I understand the principle. Right? So for example, I tell her she had a little bit Shaoyang problem. Shaoyang is not what we learned before in the Shang Hanun. Xiao Chai Hutang is Shaoyang. Shaoyang, it has an issue. That's what we're learning first. What is it, Shaoyang? And then if I tell you, but we're not going to accomplish it before they leave, but if I tell you she had Shaoyang, you say, oh, immediately I get that principle. It didn't work for X and Y reason. We had to add this herb to help it resolve, etc. So we have to do first step first, second step second. So we can't do their diagnosis really before we finish the principle. Because you don't know. If I say she had the Yang Ming problem, I don't know what's Yang Ming. Yeah, so guys, it was really great you came and shared with everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
You were really all good. You were kind of
This one great. but this one not so much.
So just the reason is be careful. You're the one that has all the stress at work. You're the one that has to push yourself. So again, if you have to push yourself and you feel a decline, we still need to do some herbs to help you go back.
We'll be in contact. I'm not going anywhere.
But you could make it by yourself if your life situation allows it to take it easy, to take breaks, and to work less. And I think you need to try to resolve it completely in the next 4 months before the baby comes. After that, the stress is going to be. So at that time it will be much harder. So now you have 4 months that you're kind of free without diapers and poop all over. Try to make it happen. So when the baby comes, you're like ready to go, and she can sleep and rest, and you're like with the baby.
I was going to bring one more thing to your attention. Remember on my acupuncture lady was putting the points in different areas, and I talked to you and said she was doing everything wrong, but then you emailed me. So that's very important too, because sometimes it could backfire on you, right?
I mean, she was going a local acupuncturist, doesn't matter who, but also someone practicing forever, 50 years, 60 years, maybe 100 years, I don't know how long. And she was doing the wrong. We'll talk about acupuncture, the wrong places. We'll talk white needling in the stomach. Well, when we do the fertility seminar, we'll talk about it more. The wrong thing. And she had very difficult time. Some guy from Connecticut tell her not to do it. She's been in TCM universities in China since the invention of TCM. And, so she left her. And of course the doctor possibly wanted the business, said, come back, I'll do whatever. So she did what we said, and it did work. But had she not done it, might be more difficult to get pregnant. So that's why when patients said, well, can I go to a local acupuncturist? I said, well, if they know what they're doing, you should. If they don't know what they're doing, you shouldn't. It's not by default. With the licensed acupuncturist, they know. So again, there's a big discussion there, so not necessarily right now we can do it, but that's the issue. So that was a very senior practitioner doing the wrong thing. The more regular patients have no way to know. You judge by how many years does the practitioner practice. 50 years, how can it be wrong? Since Zhang Zhongjing time, many were wrong all their life, from day one to the last day until they died. So what? Again, this is not what we go by to decide if it's right or wrong. It's not right. You are practicing 50 years, you must be right. It's not. You practice wrong 50 years, after 50 years it's wrong.
Because she was targeting my uterus and she was targeting my stomach.
Right. That's what they do today in the fertility, regular, conventional acupuncture. There's, you got to the wall. There's nothing. You can't bypass the wall. You use Western medicine. The ovary is here, the uterus is here, you stick the needles here. Because there's the Chinese medicine wall. There's nothing we can bypass. We don't know how to, this is what this book is all about, the new book. How to bypass this wall without going to Western medicine ideas. How in Chinese medicine we can understand more the eggs, the pivot, how you get pregnant. Not the way they do it today. So again, it's not to be critical, it's just that if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, it's right. This will be for November something. Or you can start reading it in the book that comes out next week about fertility and good acupuncture, bad acupuncture, etc. But don't tell anyone I said it. You said, I know. Don't say Yaron said it. You read it, you understand it, say, no, it's like this, I know. Or else don't say it.
We could buy the book today, or?
It's in print. Comes out September 4th. So this is just the last proof that I proved. There's a new website, hunyuanfertility.com, just for the book.
I memorized that.
All right.
Thank
Guys,
you
it was
so
a
much.
pleasure. Thank you for coming all this way.
Thank you, Dr. Seidman.
Okay.
Thank you.